Hello. Okay, there we go. We're already finding things that are broken. This is great. How's it going, guys? We updated to Windows 11 today, and I haven't had a chance to test everything out because I've been busy. And I've already found a couple of things that are a little bit bugged out, so we're going to be fixing that as soon as possible. So let me start by getting the camera up. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. It wasn't working earlier. So I'm hoping it's good now. Hi Louie, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Don't switch. Okay. We're trying to get my webcam up first. And I guess I need to update everything to allow me to monitor it because I can't hear it. Okay. I'm unable to select my camera, it seems. That's not great, but I might be able to fix it. We will find out here in a second. Oh, wow. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well, though. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I don't know. We'll see. Congrats on grabbing first Admiral, and thank you to everybody for submitting your taxes. Louis, Admiral, myself. Let's see. We're at 9, 15, and 8. Nice. Okay. Let's see if that fixes it or not. Deactivate and try to refresh again and get my camera back. This may or may not work. Don't switch. Okay, close out NVIDIA broadcast then, and we're gonna try to reopen it. It's a little bit bugged out, that's for sure. I need to probably have a button that opens up everything just to make sure it's working right before stream. Because I think that's the problem right now is like some things get outdated or just stop working. And it's not great. It's definitely not great. So it's not letting me select my camera. So what I'm going to assume is it's not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly unplug and replug and see if that fixes it. Give me 1 second here. Okay. We got a new device here. Let's see if it registers that the device is available now. I'm a little bit dizzy. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Thank
Hello
you
there.
for the follow. Madam Mirmo. Is that now? It might be. I'm gonna have a really hard time with your name. So if you don't mind me asking, do you have a nickname I can call you by? Hope you're doing well. I'm still not getting this to work. I might... Let me see if I can run it as an admin instead. Which is fine. I don't mind having to do that. It's just a little annoying that it's not working right this second. Don't switch. Okay, well that's going. I'm gonna turn that off. Go into properties here. Go to camera. It's just not giving me a camera source. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure that out later, but I guess we're going no cam today. That's fine. Let me do a really quick test to see if you guys can even hear me, because I'm not actually 100% certain that you can. For that matter, I'm not even 100% certain that you guys can hear the game. Not that there's anything to hear in the game just yet. Okay. For that matter, I'm not. Okay, you guys can't hear me, so I'm assuming you'll be able to hear the game here in a second. Let me start moving around and see. Okay, it is making tick sounds. I think that's good enough. You guys probably hear that. Okay. Sorry that took so long. Hopefully we're good to play for a little bit now. Unfortunately, I guess we're going without the face cam, which is a bummer. But like I said, I was expecting things to break. Updating to Windows 11 wasn't ideal. I really didn't want to do it today, but I got the email today that they were canceling support for Windows 10 officially, like, in a year. And I know myself. I know full well that I would just forget to do it, and then I'd be trying to do it all last minute. Or I would just forget entirely. And I don't want to, because I like free upgrades, and at any time Windows or Microsoft could just say, like, hey, we don't want to give you guys free upgrades anymore. You got to start paying for that. And I paid for a Pro license on Windows 10, so I really would like to keep my Pro license on Windows 11 too, even though I don't really know what it does for me, to be honest. I just remember I bought it when I built the computer, and there was a reason I wanted it. I think it unlocked a couple of settings that I wanted, but I don't. And it was only a couple extra bucks, so it wasn't like it was gonna be bank breaking or anything. No camera, unfortunately. I don't know what broke, but it broke today, so it's okay. I updated to Windows 11, so I'm blaming that, to be entirely honest. I don't know if that is the accurate thing to blame here, but it's what I'm blaming nonetheless. How's it going, Swifty? Good to see you. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna go ahead and get right into it then. It's a bummer, because I really did actually put a little bit of effort into my appearances today. Not that it really matters all that much, but a little bit of a bummer nonetheless. Okay, are we moving now, guys? We are good. You guys are like loot goblins over here. I'm assuming there's gonna be something up here for me. At this point, okay. Yoink. That's not great. Okay. I know this is definitely going to start a huge rant, but what's wrong with Windows 11 and why didn't you update? I did update today, but I didn't want to update prior to that. Several reasons. Windows 10 is stable, or was stable anyway. However, now that they're doing away with support, I have to update because I need updates in order to maintain security on my device. Windows 11 is actually like almost entirely pointless as far as I can tell. There's no new features. The UI sucks. It looks a lot like a Mac, and I don't like Macs. There's a reason I use a Windows device, and part of that is the UI. Then you got like things like it breaks things. Case in point, my mic wasn't working when I first started today, and I couldn't hear anything when I first started today, and my webcam wasn't working. It's still not working. Can't fix that until after I probably restart the PC. I might need to reinstall a couple of programs in order to make it work, which sucks. So, you know, there's all those maintenance reasons, but then, like, on top of all that, it was a buggy mess at launch, and I feel like they shouldn't have rushed it. It felt rushed, and it is, I don't know, right now it doesn't feel rushed necessarily, but I have to relearn how to use Windows in its entirety because of the fact that everything's a little different. And it feels like it's just different for the sake of being different rather than out of necessity, at least in my point. So I don't know. It's different. I would have preferred to have stayed on 10 until I upgraded my PC entirely, but that was not an option. So, oh well. Oh. Okay, we're okay. you know, it's not a bad operating system either. Like, I'm not anti Windows 11. I'm just not necessarily for Windows 11 either. I think Windows 10, unless they have features like that actually matter coming up soon, Windows 11 is a waste of time. Dang it. He looked like the same color as me. I don't know if I was hallucinating that or what, but that looked like the same shade of blue. Now, I'm sure Windows 11 has some things that are useful. One thing that I hate about Windows 11, they made me have to go into my BIOS. I hate going into my BIOS because I know I'm inevitably going to click on something that I don't want or whatever. Luckily, it wasn't too complicated, but I did have to look up where it was because I wasn't entirely sure. There's this really obscure feature on processors that you have to enable if you don't have the right thing. It's called a TPM module. I need a TPM 2.0. Essentially, all it does is it takes like 2.2 seconds longer to turn on your PC, but it's a security feature, or so they claim. I don't know why it required us to update to a whole new Windows version in order to use this thing, but CPUs have had them CPUs have had them forever. Or for a very long time anyway. So I don't know why we're only just now getting around to using it in the operating system, or what good it's really going to do for us, but supposedly it's a good security feature that Windows felt the need to push on everybody. So that's a thing. It's not bad. Like I said, it's not bad. It's an annoying process. I feel like it was kind of pointless. But that's just me. I'm probably... Well, I'm not in the minority here. I don't know if there's necessarily a minority or a majority in this case. I think it's kind of 50-50 now on how people are looking at it. You know, I don't think there's a reason that you should avoid it like the plague. Windows 11 isn't terrible. It's just not, you know, my favorite thing in the world. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Okay. Dang it. And other people behind me too. Okay, that's fine. Anything else I need to say about Windows 11? I mean, my PC runs cooler now. I don't know if that's really a side effect of updating to Windows 11 or not. It could be kind of like Apple, where they slowly run down the performance of your device as it gets more and more obsolete. You know, it could be like that. I've noticed my phone runs hotter now than what it used to. Which, I mean, you can look at it and say, well, like, yeah, the operating system uses more resources now because it's getting updates, but as soon as I upgraded my PC to Windows 11, it started running more efficiently. I don't know any logical reason behind that, because in fact, it should be actually running less efficiently. It uses more RAM, if I'm not mistaken. It requires more out of your CPU. However, again, it's running more cooler. I mean, it got to a low of 44 Celsius today, which is a lot lower than what my baseline was back when I was on 10. So I don't know what kind of magic Windows is pulling there, if any. I'm gonna hate Windows 12. Are we already talking about Windows 12? Because if so, I will not. I hate the process of updating things, because they're gonna integrate their terrible AI into it. I mean, I think they already pretty well had that in Windows 10, and they're probably gonna push it a lot more in Windows 11. AI is everywhere. That's here to stay at this point. It's too late to back it up. Like, I don't think it's I don't think there's anything we can do besides swap operating systems, but I don't think you're going to have one to go to. The only one that you would be able to go to that won't ever have AI is probably Linux, but they'll have the option to install AI. However, Linux has its own set of issues with it. If you're not well versed in computer, if you're not well versed in running computers and stuff, I wouldn't recommend Linux to very many people. And I think AI has some, like, it has some good possibilities to it, but I think the problem that you run into with AI right now, anyway, is, it's very predictable. And, you know, it's just like a person, I suppose, in that regard. I mean, you can kind of predict what some people will say when you say certain things. So I've just conditioned myself now to think like an AI. And so before I even ask ChatGPT something that I need help with, unless it's more knowledgeable than me on a subject, I usually don't even bother asking it now. But for example, I'll sometimes ask it to help me plan things because I just need help getting started. It's very helpful for things like that. However, it's very predictable. And if you guys ever question if you're talking to an AI on the internet, like a comment bot or something, like on Facebook or Twitter or something like that, all you gotta do is just look for, it's important to remember, or something like, it'll say things like that anyway. It's important to remember that, or it'll say things like, it'll repeat back instructions to you. So if you tell it something like, if I were a 5-year-old, how would you explain insert thing here to me? And it's like, well, if you were 5, I would explain it like this. And it's very polite, over the top polite. It's very predictable. That's why I don't really trust it with things that are more subjective. Oh, thank you. Because occasionally you do end up with problems where it's like, I need you to be honest with me, okay? You can't keep buttering me up like that. Oh, I'm being hunted. Okay. Nice job, boys. I did nothing, but we're here. Oh, I'm good. Okay. Where'd you go? Okay, I can't axe PvP right now. Oh my gosh. Do you guys ever, like, stop running away? My goodness. Okay. Linux sucks. I've not really used Linux enough to make a proper judgment on it, but I don't really enjoy Linux. I've touched it a couple of times. I would not use it as my day-to-day operating system, but if it were something that I was using in, like, a business case, I would consider it. However, I know most people that would be touching the business computer are kind of stupid, so it doesn't make sense. But for example, like in my church, I would consider using Linux as like the live streaming computer. It's a lightweight operating system, and the people that run the booth back there are smart enough to figure out how to use it. Whereas an old person, I would stick them on Windows or Mac, because those two just, they make sense to somebody who's already used to computers, but trying to teach them something new doesn't work, usually. I do use ChatGPT to get started, like with my short story I finished, it gave me starting ideas. That's usually what I do for ChatGPT. I use it as an inspiration, but I don't use it as the guiding force. And that's the thing I think people need to get used to about AI. You still have to put in work, and I think that's a good thing. Overall, that is just a good thing. You should put in more work than what the AI is doing. The AI can inspire you and get you prepared, but it shouldn't be your main driving factor necessarily. Okay, did they kill him? They did. Good, 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 good. I didn't see if they did or not. But yeah, like I was saying, there's... AI isn't terrible. It's just, it shouldn't do everything for you. I mean, I've even used it in some art cases, but I don't use the art straight up. That's the difference. I think using it as a base for you to, like, start doing other things, I can see that being much more fair than, say, like, oh yeah, we're gonna just straight up go, I'm using AI as my driving factor here. Like, no. You do need to put in some effort into your creative choices. Like, for example, my thumbnail. I'll use AI sometimes there. However, I usually end up changing it so much that it would have either been better for me to draw it myself, if at all possible. However, I can't draw, so it's not really great for me to even think about that. Or, trying to push this guy off the edge. Oh, no way. No way. I still got kill credit for that, but he came back up to kill somebody else. That's awesome. Copilot is not the greatest. Copilot has some advantages. If you're looking for something recent, it's not... It at least does the job. I feel like I'm slow. There we go. Oh, crap. If you're looking for recent things, it's not bad, but you can tell it clearly has biases built into it. You also, again, it's very, very predictable. More predictable than ChatGPT, in my opinion. ChatGPT is nice because it doesn't put a limit on your conversation, and in fact, it remembers things through conversations, which is nice now. Because sometimes you're like, okay, I'm going to talk about it with this one obscure thing that I need to know. And sometimes you'll be like, okay, I need an idea for a short story. And it'll say, how about we write a short story about insert thing here that we talked about 2 months ago? And it's like, how do you remember that? It's like, oh, I know about these things because we talk about it and I store it as a memory. If you don't want me to store memories, you can go and stop me from remembering things here or remove memories here. I love that about ChatGPT because sometimes there are moments where it's like, I wish I didn't delete that chat. I need it to tell me more about this. My brother used a case where he was working on his car, and he was just asking it generic questions, and it said, well, you have this part on it because we discussed that a while back, and that's how he discovered the feature in the first place. He wasn't aware of it until then, and he was like, that's actually really handy. I don't have to keep telling it every time I talk to ChatGPT that my car is insert model here, and it runs with these aftermarket parts, you know? It's not... You know. I think you guys get what I'm trying to say there. No! Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I will say Copilot is not the greatest. It does have a lot of issues with it. I do use it occasionally, but I don't use it a ton. And like I said, AI should always be an inspiration, not the actual works of creativity. Otherwise, it'll come out soulless. That's just how it usually ends up. I'm not a fan of Google AI. I have not really used the Google AI. It started off as like what, Bard, and then they changed the name, and then they changed the name again. I don't know what it is called now, but I tried to use Bard when it first came out. It knew who I was, which was kind of cool. And that was like what, a year ago, 2 years now? I don't know. It was a while back. It knew who I was, but it sucked. Copilot is Google, is it not? No, Copilot is Bing, Microsoft. And I think it runs on GPT, but it's a modified version of ChatGPT, so it's not like it's not fantastic, that's for sure. But Google has a AI of their own. I don't know what it runs on behind the scenes. Google's is Gemini. Right, Gemini. Google Gemini. Gemini... I remember there was an incident with Google's AI, if I'm not mistaken, where it was kind of racist. Which was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. It wouldn't produce an image of anyone that was white. So people got it to do some really racist things at some points, because if you asked it to, you know, if you asked it to do like a racist stereotype, and let's say you asked it to create people eating watermelon or something like that, it wouldn't do it if you named a specific group of people. But if you didn't name a specific group of people, it would 100% of the time create a certain group of people eating watermelon. And it's like, that's interesting. And if you asked it to like create a picture of George Washington, it would create like black George Washington. It was such an incredibly racist piece of technology without trying to be. Well, it was trying so hard not to be that it became it, which was the funny part. I think some people got fired over that, if I'm not mistaken. But it was funny. I think it was Google that did that. It may have been an early version of Microsoft Copilot. See if it knows you. It does. Bing now knows me. I've asked it a couple of times about me. It does. King Ragnog, also known as King, is a 20-year-old American Twitch streamer and YouTuber known for his Minecraft content. He's also the owner and operator of the King SMP Minecraft server. Interesting that it notes that I'm the SMP owner. I've never actually had one of the AIs tell me that, so I'm wondering where it's feeding that information from. Because I'm trying to think. I guess if it's pulling from the Vods channel, I do have it mentioned there a couple of times. If it's pulling from the SMP owner videos, then it also it would also probably pull that kind of information there. So I don't know. Trying to think where else, because I don't put that in my descriptions, or not my descriptions, but my oh, I'm being pummeled. I don't put it in my Twitch description either, though, so I don't know where it would be coming from. Probably my YouTube channel description might have it in there. Or do they still have YouTube channel descriptions? For some reason I remember them getting rid of that, but I might be imagining that bit. I don't know. I think they got rid of the description tab. You can still access it, but you have to press like a different button. I don't remember. It's nice to be known by AI though. That's nice. I will say the search engines are nice to have AI attached to. Like I said, it has updated information. It can search the web for you. So if you're looking for like a grouping of results or just a general consensus on certain things, it's helpful. or for example, ChatGPT doesn't run on, you know, updated results, so it doesn't know all of the code. For example, like let's say you wanted to use Godot for a project and you were wanting to use specifically GD script. I don't think Godot was in development early enough to have Godot script ready for ChatGPT to know how to code in that. So like let's say you were wanting to code, ChatGPT might not be able to help you on some code bases. Now there are updated AIs who do have every code base known to man, so you might as well just use those instead. But you know, that will always be GPT's downfall. But I know GPT wasn't supposed to really be a thing, necessarily. You know, it exists and it's supposed to exist. However, I don't think it was supposed to be a long-term thing that everybody had access to for all time. That's funny, it pulled it from the minecraftserver.org page. That's actually funny. I didn't think about that being a possibility, but it does have SEO, so that makes sense. Okay. We good? We're good. No! I don't want to die. Okay. Please don't shoot me, please don't shoot me, please don't shoot me. I don't need that. I could throw that out. In fact, I will. Okay, I'm still alive, so... Yeah, that's not gonna last long. I'm sorry for the ads, guys. I can't stop them now, it's too late. But if you guys can hear me anyway, during the ads, just know I appreciate you sitting through them, and we'll catch you after they're done. I'm not gonna get into too much trouble, so you can count on not missing much. Go grab some snacks and some water or whatever. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, I'm tired. I know today's gonna be a smaller stream anyway, because like I said, I'm tired. It's Wednesday. They're usually small streams. But it's been a long day for me. Let's see, what time was it? Let's see, I didn't get to make any thumbnails yet, so I'm hoping to do some tonight. I have most of the, I guess, what do you call it? I have most of the titles and descriptions for the VODs written out now. So literally all I have to do is get the thumbnail done and post. So that should help me kind of get things finished, which will be nice. Although I'm not 100% sure I'll actually, you know, actually get much done tonight, but the hope is there. That's all that matters. Oh, I didn't need that, my bad. Okay, we gotta keep moving, guys. No! That was a little bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. Why did my team not follow me? I thought we were fully healed, guys. Oh well. Maybe they thought I was gonna clutch up or something. I don't know. I really don't know. It's okay. I mean, he's here. You're doing something. You got it, guys. You got it. You're on your own, but you got it. Oh, jeez. This game never ceases to amaze me. I never end up on the teams I like. I like to play a little more aggressive. I like to just jump in and kill some people and enjoy that. But I'm usually on teams with people who like bows, and so they like to sit back, and it's like, I get that to an extent. But at the same time, I'm not a huge fan of, you know, playing the range game. It's just not my cup of tea. Or you got the people who are loot goblins and want to find each and every... who's Netherite? Do you know me? Now I'm scared. Have you just seen me in every game? I know I've seen your name. Netherite. I'm assuming I know you simply from just playing the game enough. That's usually how it goes. That's how I know Wubdub. I've seen Wubdub so many times, guys. It's not even a joke, unfortunately. I'd say Wubdub's pretty cool. It's not unfortunate to know Wubdub, but I have run into them so many times. I think I have enough to kill a person now. If I could just slam them with the Orbs of Harming, we're set. Okay. Up this way. I'm not sure I'm ever gonna get a nicer sword. I'm not gonna lie. Oh. Okay, that's good. Oh. Okay. There we go. Oh. Okay, we're fine. We're okay. We just need to get up so that I can kill that guy, because he's just gonna keep dropping TNT, I think, and that's a little bit annoying. And I don't like annoying people. Oh, down here. Not my guy. You're not killing him. Okay. We're fine. We're okay. No! There was no surviving that one. Dang, he outsmarted me. GG's. GG. I was actually pretty decently geared too. Why was there so much TNT on this game? Jeez, I had like 6 pieces. That guy had like 4 or 5. There's somebody dropping it on us earlier with like, I think they had like 4. They may have had even more, and we don't even know. I'm sure my team had some TNT. Maybe every chest had TNT in the team chest. Who knows? I'm sure somebody knows, but I actually don't. We got 2 kills though. That's not terrible. I'm just kind of chilling and playing for fun, so I'm not worried about, you know, winning necessarily. Okay. What, 9:14? Okay, really quick. I need to check on something. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're good. I need that. Sweet. Let's go. I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of have a preference towards pink team. This might just be weird, but I can actually see my teammates through the walls. Whereas, like, on other teams, I have a harder time seeing those colors. So I find it much more enjoyable to be pink because I know for a fact I can see myself and my team. Looks like I'm going with these guys because they're a little more bloodthirsty. I appreciate that about them. Although I do appreciate a good mid-rush every now and then. That's not good. Okay, that's fine. No blood rush today. That's a-okay. Let's see. Trying to think. Has anything big or important happened today? I mean, outside of updating Windows 11, I didn't really do much else. I need to check and see if my mic is crackling still. I'm wondering, I'm assuming it probably is, but I'm wondering if it got fixed, hopefully. Because the way... I'd imagine that's at least something that could have been fixed just due to the update, because that's actually, you know, surface level, or not surface level. Windows 11 isn't just, as far as I know, it's not a complete reskin of Windows 10. I mean, it feels like it is. It might actually have been rebuilt, though. And if it has been, then... I kept missing. Wow, I suck. What was I saying? If Windows 11, sorry, isn't just a reskin of Windows 10, then maybe the way it interacts with audio drivers is a little different. And I know it reinstalled my audio drivers because every device I was using got absolutely, well, it got the crap kicked out of it, I'm not gonna lie. That's why my camera isn't working today. And it's why my mic didn't work at the start and why I couldn't hear anything during the first part of the stream. Everything is a little broken. Which isn't like a terrible thing. It's not. I mean... If it works better, that's great. Oop, okay. You can keep it. It's fine. You got it. Oh well. Man, I can't believe I dropped that sword. Am I a little bit mad about that? Yes, absolutely. I'll let you go. You can build bridges better than me, I know you can. There you go. Thank you. Okay. Oh, he's dead. Yay! Okay. It's just you and I and everyone else. and you are absolutely killing. Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome to the party. Okay. Wanna go? This guy's low. Let's get him. Let's get him. Let's get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Oh, I messed up. There's somebody up there. No. I'm gonna die, yeah. That was a series of very unfortunate events. If I had thought about it for just a second, that person running away definitely had people chasing them. I mean, you wouldn't run into other enemies that low without a reason to. So it doesn't exactly surprise me that that was the case. And then, you know, the people actually being pretty decently geared kind of screwed me over there. But, you know, it's fine. It's okay. You live and you learn, and I'm not really learning because I'm not really living, I guess. That got a little deep. Okay. But yeah, we're just gonna chill for a little bit more. Trying to think. I did ask ChatGPT how to help me, if it could help me a little bit. So I'd kind of like to read off what it said. Because I told it I needed help designing my NPC characters. Because, for those of you who don't know, I'm wanting to build a game. And this game is supposed to be one of the most realistic, like, and advanced games out there in terms of AI technology. I mean, it is going to be utilizing a lot of really, really neat features that I haven't seen other games adapt yet, and it's just because it's so new. So I asked it if it could help me set up the NPCs, and it's sort of getting there. It's the steps seem still pretty large, but it's like it knows the steps I need to take. So that's the first step. We've established that I need to use like natural languaging processing, machine learning, and procedural generation, because to create such a massive cast of characters would be kind of stupid to do by hand. So you have to kind of procedurally generate them, and then you can tweak them as you go. And it has actually done a pretty good format for it too. So I'll read off kind of what it suggested. I'm not sure if it'll work. I've never messed with code on this level before. I've never messed with trying to get in your way. Yeah, there you go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's so close. There we go. Okay. But like I said, I have not messed with code so much on that level, so I don't understand like how natural language processing works, how machine learning works. Like I've done a little bit of research on machine learning back when it was still like really, really new, sort of. I mean, machine learning has been around for a little bit, but okay, I still got that kill. Good. I learned when it was like still coming onto the scene and being like mainstream, I guess. But I don't really understand how it works, sort of. Like it takes, it's like an algorithm, and it reads user inputs, and then the user inputs it learns how to react best off of that. It's like that makes sense to me to some degree. Let's see, what else did it suggest? So it gave me a high-level roadmap as it described here. So it said to find the scope and game world, which is big. I mean, I've talked to you guys about the game world. I've never told ChatGPT about it, so it's not gonna know everything, I guess. But basically, then it was like, okay, it needs to build a knowledge base and character traits. So this was an interesting thing that I found, and I like the idea because it makes it so easy for me to tweak characters as they get generated. And it'll make it easy so players can make their own NPCs as well. So it will store each NPC's personality, backstory, goals, and relationships in a database. And so it'll be like a JSON file, essentially. And Minecraft already runs on JSON files. So for any of you who have actually messed around with Minecraft data packs and stuff, you'll be very familiar with JSON formats, where it's just like, okay, I just need to change a couple of variables here and there, and suddenly I have a whole new creature. It's very similar to that. And I never thought about it being something so simple, I guess. But it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna try to mess around with that a little bit. Okay, dude, you stole my sword. Luckily, I have another one in there, but it's okay. It's fine. I'm not mad right now. But making your NPCs customizable through that format makes so much sense, and I don't know why I didn't think about it being that easy. That would have saved me a lot of headache earlier had I thought about that, you know? Okay, where are you guys at? You're all the way up, okay. On my way. I'm gonna take the longer way down, I guess. Hey, I'm here. Hello. You killed me earlier, didn't you? I think you did. I am glad to be on your team, because I think you guys won. Or you won that round anyway. No! I thought that was my teammate next to me. Oh no. Okay, that's funny. Okay. Where were we with the conversation about the AIs? Right. So all the personalities and stuff can be edited through JSON format, which makes sense. I just got to set up a whole bunch of variables and how it works so that the AI understands how it's supposed to pretend. And it should theoretically work. Then it just needs to slowly build up more memories. And so that would build up in the backstory section. And so as long as I know how to communicate with the AI perfectly, each person can remember who you are. And depending on if they actually keep up to date with national galactic news in the game, which will be a whole thing that you can kind of set up, then they will get to know you, and if you actually interact with the world anyway. Then they mention a trait-based system here. So how it would change a lot of the personality things. So attributes like friendliness, curiosity, suspicion, all those things. It's more situational. So based on how you treat the AI and how you're behaving in the game. Then they mention pre-trained natural language processing and how to implement it. So they mention that it's probably easier to just use pre-trained language processors. Things like OpenAI already has, like ChatGPT, for example. I'm sure there's some more open source ones out there that I could use. Okay, we're going this way. Is the zoom key allowed? I don't know if that's allowed. I'm assuming it is. Like, my eyes just genuinely suck, so I feel like it's allowed that I use it. I've never actually thought if that would be considered cheating or not. What's up, Ragnarok? That's crazy, Ant. That's crazy. Not much going on here. How are you doing though? It's good to see you. We going? We going? Or do we? Alright. Where's the other guy? Oh, he's up there. Okay, gotcha. Oh, there's more guys. There's more. Come on. There we go. Okay. I'm well. How about you? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm tired, but I'm hanging in there. I had a pretty long day today, but you know, there's nothing wrong with a long day. It's just how you interact with that day and how you react to it. Okay, we gotta move. Okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're fine. Okay. This is a little bit stressful. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, this guy's got a cheeseburger for a head. I've never gotten to, like, play a game for my hero, you know? No! Aww. That was unlucky. Unlucky placement. Oh well. We're just kind of yapping and chilling. I updated to Windows 11 today, so my face cam ain't working. But I'm gonna fix that after stream today, hopefully, and that should fix it all. But things are good right now, and I think they're good. Quickly, I'm gonna try anyway to wrap up every step that ChatGPT has here anyway, or close to anyway. So they mentioned that you should try to implement pre-trained language models, so like ChatGPT, or do a custom fine-tuned model. I would probably opt in for the custom or do an open source one just so I don't have to pay anybody, because this is going to get expensive very quickly if you have to pay somebody. So I'm going to try to make one. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if that's a thing one person can do, but I'm going to try. And then we'll have, hopefully, something that I can implement in. I think it's better to use a character-based AI. So the way the AI is supposed to work is essentially you're gonna use like ChatGPT to be your. It's going to exist, but it's not gonna actually be your character, right? It's going to be how it talks to the rest of the world, though. So then ChatGPT, for example, I'm not going to use actual ChatGPT, like I said. I'm going to do my absolute best to make my own, just so I don't have to pay somebody, like I said. That was so dumb. Hey, Pi, how's it going? Good to see you. But like you said, Character AI has a wonderful trained AI set for character roleplay and integration with SaaS knowledge. So what they're doing, I don't think they actually have. They might have their own AI models. I don't know. I've never used Character AI. But let's say they don't. What they're using is they're using a ChatGPT based thing behind the scenes. And then they're telling ChatGPT, okay, these are the character characteristics that you need to keep in mind when talking to the user. So this is what you need to respond as. Now, ChatGPT isn't great for that. ChatGPT isn't meant for roleplay in the slightest. So like you said, character AI, I'm assuming anyway, has some custom built AIs behind the background that are good language models for roleplay. So I could use those. I don't know if there's an open source version of those out there or not, but I would look into those first. And then I'd like to eventually custom develop my own so that it's only based in that reality. That way it's not being trained on data sets that, you know, characters shouldn't have access to. So it doesn't have any knowledge of Star Wars per se. And then you can teach the AIs about Star Wars if you wanted to, I guess, which would be an interesting turn of events. I mean, people could easily make their own AI characters to interact with in the game that are from Star Wars. I mean, I can't stop you from modding that in. I can't encourage it because that would probably put me into some legal trouble with Disney. But I can't stop people either, I don't think. I'll read the rest of these messages here in a minute. I went into labor. Congrats. How long have you been in labor, Pi? I sniped that. I will take that in a heartbeat. Did you move to a Windows 11? I did. I had to say goodbye to Windows 10 today, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Oh my gosh. I'm getting comboed. Gosh. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I'm such an idiot sometimes, but you know, I appreciate that. Nothing wrong with being an idiot. Okay. Actually, there's a lot wrong with being an idiot, but not today anyway. Okay. Some people use the site for certain activities, meaning it has to be a custom trained one, I assume. Theoretically, if it's the activities, I'm assuming, yes, because OpenAI does have a standard practice against the other things. However, I don't know what their paid subscriptions have behind it. You know, a lot of those terms and conditions go away once you start paying for certain features from OpenAI. So they might actually have other abilities from enterprise versions of the model. I don't know. I don't know, is the truth. Okay, over there. Is it just one more dude? It is. Okay. Just gonna eat really quick. Where is this man? Okay. Oh, I just got first. Okay. Boop. Saber-tooth cap. GG. How many kills are you gonna steal, kid? That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I kept hitting him and hitting him and hitting him. If you're just gonna be mad, be mad. Like, just be mad. I don't care, is the truth. Boop. Okay. Hello, Panda. Welcome on in. How are you doing? Let's see. First kid came out in the last 7 are putting up a fight. I see. Well, good luck. Have fun, Pi. Don't die, ideally. And thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. Been in labor for a good 4 hours. Gosh. There isn't limits, and even some other ones really don't have limits. Okay, I googled it. They have a large language model which scans conversations and leaning and predicts what's next. Yeah, so they definitely don't run off of GPT. That is well, it might be using GPT as a natural language processing model, but the large language model comes after that, if I'm not mistaken, I think. So the LLM, in that case, I don't know exactly how that works, to be honest. I'd have to look into that. But I would imagine... I'm gonna die. Please die, please die, please die. They're not gonna die, that's fine. I might tired, but I know what you mean. I'm in a similar boat. I get ya. So, yeah, what we'd have to do is we're gonna have to run off of open source, which there's plenty of good ones out there, I'm sure. I mean, if I look it up right now here, let's just quickly pause the game. Let me open up Brave so I can get to my... Oh boy, that's laggy. Ho ho ho. Okay, we are good now. I don't... You guys are gonna hear a whole bunch of videos start playing. I unfortunately can't stop it. Okay, I think we're good. So let's see, open source NLP. So there are some open source ones out there, it looks like. There's one for Python. I see that one immediately anyway. Here's the top 7 NLP libraries for NLP development in 2024. So you have things like NLTK, Gensum, Spacey, Core NLP, Text Blob, Pattern, PyNLP, Conclusion, and Frequently Asked Questions. No, okay, that's a chapter. Same thing with Conclusion. The rest of them are actual NLPs. Okay, gotcha. So you could run off of one of those for open source things. Then you would need a LLM afterwards, I think. Do they get into LLMs? Yeah. They might. They have... Okay, they do actually have some recommended tools here at the bottom. But I'll go ahead and just keep talking about this really quick to finish up the conversation. They also mentioned speech recognition. So, because I talked about wanting people to be able to talk to AIs through their mic, you would need to use something like Google Speech or Deep Speech, which will convert people's voices into text, and then the text will go to your AI model. What are you guys using open source stuff for? So I'm wanting to make a game with like quite possibly the most advanced AI out there. And because the AI NPCs are going to need you to be able to talk to them and to live and breathe and react, we need to use open source technologies or pay somebody else to essentially let me use their project. And open source is just the best solution at this current point until I can develop my own in-house tool. Because once I'm making like $1 million off of this thing, I don't mind paying people. And I would pay somebody to make it for me any day once we actually are there. But in the meantime, open source is the way to go. Because I don't know how to make an NLP. I don't know how to make an LLM. And there's other things as well here that you need, which we'll get into here in a minute. But... You know, I don't know how to make a speech-to-text API either. So it's easier to just have one that's already in use. So I think Deep Speech is free, if I'm not mistaken. Deep Speech... Yep, open source text-to-speech engine. So, and usually open source is almost better than the enterprise stuff because so many people can contribute to it, so it has a larger what do you call it? Let me run around while we're just chilling. It has a larger user base, I guess, that's contributing to it. So you have a larger set of accents, tones, pronunciations, things like that. So it will be able to read your voice a lot better. And the problem is tone. I don't know how we're going to do tone. Because it's got to be able to understand sarcasm, too, to some degree. I might actually have to develop a AI technology for that. Because essentially what it's going to do is it's just going to analyze patterns in it. And so long as the person isn't like a terrible voice actor, it should be okay. I don't know. We'll have to see. That's easy. Oh yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. Complex. I've had similar ideas for games and stuff, but never tried to execute any of it. I've always had this idea for like since I was 8 years old, I wanted a game for Star Wars that you could just play through the movies and do anything and everything that you ever wanted in it, and it would change the story. Technology like that didn't exist 12 years ago, though. However, it does now, and so, like, I can't do Star Wars because I understand how copyright law works now, but I can make my own game set in space with this large set of ideas. And the good thing about it being a game, and I finally came to the conclusion of how the game is supposed to be played. It's supposed to kind of be like Minecraft, where you just spawn in and you just enjoy the world however you want. It's not supposed to be it's a living, breathing story that you can choose how you want to play it, and it's always going to be different because it's kind of procedurally generated to some degree. So, you're always going to have a slight variable there anyway that not everybody else gets. So it's kind of like how your random generation is. But I was like, okay, yeah, the gameplay loop. King, your bitrate is cooked. Is that better? I was not tabbed out, but I was in small window mode. Is that better though? Here, we can wait up in here. So, I think I've got a general idea of how it's going to work. It's almost a sandbox, and the way you're going to be able to play it, you could play it as if it were a sandbox. I'm going to snooze ads a little bit while we talk about this. One thing I do need to do is shrink that down just for a second. F3 and D it. Hang on. Okay, not there. F3D here. There we go. Okay. So, let's see. Technically, there's nothing stopping you from doing Star Wars. Yes and no. I want to make money. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do want to make money off of this one. Now, I don't want to make, like as a player, yes. So as a player, you could theoretically make your own mod pack for this. Because I'm going to make the proper tools so a player can make their own AI. And I'm going to make a proper modding tool. Kind of similar to what Starfield has or what Bethesda has in general for all their games. Where you can make your own, items and such. I'm going to make something similar to that, but I'm not going to make it so that you sell it in a store. You will have, a CurseForge launcher or, a Modrinth or something like that anyway. And I could host that myself, but if I host it, then companies can come at me to tell me to take it down. So I'm probably just going to leave it up to the Steam Workshop for one. So I don't have to pay any hosting fees. Nexus will be a great place for it because Nexus never gets hit with copyright almost ever. Sometimes they do, but it's very rare. So I'll let those places take care of it, and my game will just exist. And you can even upload the files yourself. You won't need a launcher. It's recommended that you do it through those means if you're trying to download somebody else's files. But it'll be easy enough. It'll be like editing a Minecraft JSON file. That's the hope anyway. And then there will be an interface for creating your own items. We'll have basic things like, we won't have lightsabers in the game, but we might have some sort of futuristic melee weapon. We'll have different kinds of guns, but they might not be the same guns from Star Wars. That's the hope anyway. I don't know if we'll actually be able to do that. That's kind of like an afterthought sort of deal. We'll leave room for it to be developed, but it's not the main focus of the game necessarily. People will be able to figure it out until I actually make the tool. Then I'd like to make the tool early enough though that I can use it in-house so that it makes my job a whole lot easier. And I can show it off to you guys in the development process of like, oh yeah, you guys want me to show you how I make characters really quick? You guys can do this too using this tool. So I do intend to make it easy enough that you guys could basically have access to developer tools like that. It'll also have like an in-depth town maker, planet maker, things like that. So you can even go in so in depth that you're making, your own hometown if you wanted to. And then you could put that up for download it if you really decided that was something you wanted to do and dox yourself like that. Hello, Blue, and hello, Electronic. Welcome on in. Thank you for submitting your taxes. How are you guys doing? The term lightsaber is copyrighted, but the term light sword isn't. True. I'm going to do my absolute best, though, to remain away from any possible copyright issues with Disney. I'm going to stay as far away from that line as possible, because I won't have money to fight that. And I know they'll send a cease and desist first, but I want to get my game off the ground before I start getting controversies like, oh yeah, he's stealing copyright things. But I would like to have some basic things like that. And it'll be easy enough for somebody to add their own lightsaber to the game, technically. I just might not be able to put it in by default. I have some ideas on ways I could get around it, but I'm not going to share them just yet because I don't want to promise anything to you guys. I guess to finish up some things here, though. So after you get the NLPs and the speech recognition, for anybody that's joining in, I just realized I'm going to explain this in a minute. I'm working on a game, and I need to make basically the most advanced AI known to man in order to play this game. And so all the NPCs are going to have this AI where you can talk to them through your mic, and then they'll talk back. They'll come up with unique responses. They'll have their own personalities. Things like that. We've had AI slowly advance over time, but I think I've actually got the ability now to set this up. And so I asked ChatGPT how I could go about this, because work smarter, not harder. I don't know anything about coding AIs and how it works, so I figured ask an AI. It knows itself better. And so it's gotten me pretty far. It's kind of taken me through setting up a database, setting up traits, some of the early planning stages. And then it told me like some of the tools I need, like an NLP, natural language processing, and speech recognition. So it's mentioned like Google Speech or Deep Speech. Deep Speech is probably what we'll be using, because I think Google Speech does have a subscription that you need. But we'll get into that a little later down the road. That's smart. Always fight your battles carefully. I'm gonna avoid fighting Nintendo. Nintendo sucks. I will fight and fight and fight to stay away from Nintendo. We're not getting anywhere near Pokemon territory until I'm sure that I could fight any battles there. Do you have an idea for a sort of base story to start this out? I've got a couple of ideas of like how it might get you into the gameplay loop, but I'm not 100% certain yet. And I know that's not like a great thing, because when it comes to like demos, like that's usually like the first 15 minutes of the game. And so like I am sort of thinking out some things. Like I want there to be like we're gonna have intro sequence, and then after the intro sequence you can create your character. That's how Starfield did it, and I loved that. Swifty, you mentioned that you should have a character maker screen. That's coming eventually. There's just some other things that we need to worry about first. I'm thinking the combat will probably be, right there at the beginning. I'm kind of thinking there might be ways to select what origin you want, like what starting place you want, and like the scenario, I guess, on how you get started in the game. And there might be ways that you can make your own scenarios. That way it starts out, unique for everybody. But I'm not 100% certain how I want to play it just yet. I might even ask... I I'm tempted to even make it so you can select answers of like how you were raised as a child in the game and like how you want your character to be played as. So it's kind of like D&D in that regard, where you can tell it your character's origin story, and so you can play your own character, and the world will kind of build around that a little bit. And there will be an overarching story to the galaxy. We're thinking intergalactic scale here. Possibly even more non-linear than that with time, and so a universal scale or a multiversal scale. But that's like a whole other problem that I have to think about how to tackle, because that's a big problem. We'll get into that a little later. But the problem that I've thought about here is like there's this overarching story that you can take part in, and if you don't take part in it, things will happen still around you. So it's not like if you don't get involved, you'll eventually have to get involved, or the game will slowly start pressuring you to get involved. You can go live on a potato farm and farm potatoes all you want. There is an achievement for that, or there is a planned achievement anyway. However, the consequence of not getting involved in other story places is that planet that you're on farming potatoes might get destroyed by a super laser or something like that, because there's a war raging on and you never took part and took a side. And if you don't choose to interact with any of the AIs, eventually they're going to find you, not know who you are, and either be super hostile to you, because I might implement some form of racism into the game, because why not? Maybe don't, but I could. I might. I think if there's aliens in the game, I will have some sort of racism against aliens. I think that would be a fun little topic to tackle. But I'll make it a fun way, so it's not. It's a aspect of the game that they recognize exists, but it's not something that's encouraged necessarily. I suppose that's the right way to look at it. There's a lot of aspects that I want to talk about, but I don't have the time, or the words, I guess, either. But after all the speech recognition stuff, right? So you talk into your mic, it puts in a text input. There's a pre-trained language model, and natural language processing model, that takes what your words mean, and then it converts it to a way a AI would understand it. So you have those two parts, and they're working together now. Essentially, what ChatGPT says here next is you need to have it run into like an FSM, which is a finite state machine. A finite state machine runs for each individual NPC. And so that would allow them to go between different states. So idle, conversing, angry, helpful, etc. That's what they list here anyway. So that would be different behaviors or different dialogues. So it would essentially give them, like, think of The Sims. It would be like a moodlet to some degree. And that'll allow it to change how it's going to interact with you to some degree. And then there's a behavior tree as well that you have to create, which is more complex decision making. So within those different states, how does it react to different things? Oh boy. Oh boy. The AI text and voice stuff on its own sounds like a Facade, which is a great game for its time. Sounds like Facade. Let me look it up really quick. Okay. Okay, I might 2005. Wow. I'll have to look into that. I might check it out sometime. I don't know if it still exists anywhere. I'm sure somebody's got a download if I can't buy it. I'm actually a little older than that. Almost 1 year older. But yes, yeah, it would be very similar to that, but even larger, I guess. It's similar where you type in things and the characters respond to what you said. It was very innovative for its time. You can still access it. Okay, I'll have to check it out then. It might help me get started a little bit here, and I can kind of study how they made it if they have that information out there. There are multiple endings. Okay, sweet. That makes it even better. Oh, memory system. That's gonna be fun. That's one thing I worry about this game. With all the AIs that it's generating, I mean, you're looking at how would you even go about this? I mean, oh wow. So you have your core AIs. So you're gonna have by the end of the development cycle, let's say you're gonna have like 500 different AI characters that you can interact with. Let's say each of them only take up half a gig. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. But you look at all the other things that you have to work on, and then the fact that you're going to have some procedurally generated AIs that you interact with as well, because I'm not about to populate entire cities that people have to download, so it's like 2 terabytes in size of AI alone. That seems dumb. So I'm not going to do that. Oh, that's going to get crazy. But then you have the memory system on top of that, so you talk to these random characters that don't matter. They remember you. Oh, wow, okay. That makes it a lot bigger, but we might be able to make it work. Also, ads are incoming. I'm so sorry if you guys get stuck in an ad. But I'll sit tight, get some water, get something to eat. You know, all those basic things I always tell you guys to do. Take care of yourselves during ad breaks. It's the best time for it. There's also one called Suck Up, which is newer, but it doesn't have voice and does have a good AI system. Okay. I'll also look up that one and see what they've got going for it. Okay. Let's see what else. What else do they have here? Oh boy. It uses various AI technologies. One is what the designers called a behavioral language engine, which dictates how the characters move across the apartment as they speak. Another is a drama manager, which creates story beats from a set of pre-programmed events and finds ways using the player's input to raise tension and resolve the conflict. Okay. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Essentially, you're going to be running AI into AI into AI, and the hope is that it would create something insane. I don't know how that would work, though. I really don't. Developing your own LLM is the strat. It's just a bit hard. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, too. The nice thing is, as we're going, I could ask the beta testers if they're going to consent to me using some of their data to help improve some of that stuff. So, for example, large language models. If I'm not mistaken, they look at the way you interact with the game, and it changes. It uses machine learning anyway to look at how you speak and how you talk to the AIs, and that helps it produce its results and how it will speak back. So if you get enough people to consent to using that, it wouldn't be so bad. Now, the problem that you run into is, like, for example, I want the AI to speak back to you using its own voice. I cannot actually legally. I could get people to sign away their voice rights, but I feel like that's wrong. So I have to find people who already have signed away their rights on the internet to being an open source language voice. So there's that. I could put my own voice in there. If other people wanted to sign off their rights, I would be hesitant to allow it, but I would consider it. But I'd like to develop a tool if there isn't already one out there so that people could upload their own voice as one of the templates. And it's not uploaded to the general game, but to their own game. And so you could make your own voice packs, I guess. Kind of like how Minecraft has texture packs. You would have voice packs in this where you could, I can't do it, but you guys could mod in famous movie star voices. So I can't name anyone in specific because I don't want to encourage you guys to do this because it's kind of illegal for me to do that. But say you got John Smith, okay? And Mr. Smith is a very well-known voice actor. Well, you could take his voice and, make your own language pack out of it and then apply his voice to different AIs. And it can randomly select voices based on its own thing. So you'd have like 2 packs, I guess, for the AI to choose from. So you'd have the feminine voice pack and the masculine voice pack. And dependent on the traits in the JSON file, or whatever it is, I don't know if it would be JSON or not, but let's say it's a JSON, just for sake of ease. If it is a JSON, then in that it would say, okay, what kind of voice should it pick by default, if it's randomly picking. So you can pick a general file of like, okay, it's going to pick masculine, and then it'll fill out that field later. It'll pick one of the random ones in there. Or you can tell it in specific, I want you to use John Smith's voice. That could work. I don't know. LLM, like you said, though, Swifty, would definitely be the strat, creating your own. However, like you said, it's hard. So my main thing right now is I want to get it off the ground and working and get a demo going. And once we do have our own demo and it's all working, and maybe even after the initial release of the game, I would like to start developing my own LLM. Or make it so that you guys could insert your own LLMs and things like that. So it would still work. I got to look into how those actually do work, LLMs and such, because if it's you only can pick one and not all of it works the same with code, then I'd have to be careful about how I choose to work. But I think I can make it. We'll see. Anyway, after you do all the memory and the FSMs and the behavior trees, you have to do create procedural dialogue and interaction rules. So these are things like each NPC would have their own default phrasings of things that they might say to the player initially, if anything. That way, it can create a conversation. So these are things that people might say walking up to you, or you walking past them and they see you on the street. So things like, in this case, it uses, it's basically telling you it's a dialogue template. And it says, I haven't seen my insert relative in location since last event, which would be filled in based on the character's backstory. So it could actually randomly pick, okay, I have a mom, a dad, 2 brothers, and a niece. And so it could pick randomly one of those for the relative, and it goes, okay, we're gonna pick mom. And then it's gonna pick a location. It's going, okay, where would I have last seen my mom? Well, back in my backstory, the last time I saw my mom was boom. And then it would say at the last event that she was at. That's actually smart. I didn't think about it that way. I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to make it start conversations. I know when I do like battles, I want there to be just screams. It's just gonna be screams pretty much. I don't know how AI generated screams are gonna work. I think it probably won't, so I'll just have to have general scream packs, I guess, where, you have default screams, it's whatever. Most people don't have that much of a unique scream, in my opinion. But I know, like, if you get into, like, major battles, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, because you're getting explosions and gunshots all around. After that, you need dynamic dialogue flow. To make the conversations feel natural, set up a turn-based dialogue system that can track players and NPCs' intents and context allowing for responses that change mid-conversation. So that would be like, it needs to predict, and it'll be predicting throughout the entire time where the conversation is going. So the NPC is going to try to steer the conversation a little bit, but the player can still change it. That's not terrible. It can't be turn-based, though, like it's wanting it to be. You're going to have to be able to interrupt the NPCs, and it's going to have to be willing to try to interrupt you. Because I don't want it to be immersion breaking. I mean, starting out, we could do it where it's, like, turn-based. But, my main concern would be... For example, like, one of the things we want to do is, like, you can yell at enemy players or enemy NPCs and scare them away from fighting you. And, like, you can go, like, hey, don't you have a kid at home? Do you really want to die here on the battlefield and leave him alone to fend for himself? You can do that kind of stuff, or guilt trip them into not killing you by saying, like, I have a wife and kids, man. I just want to go home. I got drafted into this. I don't want to die, and... You know, that wouldn't work in a turn-based dialogue system. So I'd have to figure out a good way to make it so that you could interrupt each other and yell. But I'm not entirely sure how that would work exactly. I'll have to think about that. Implement adaptive responses and emotion tracking. Okay, so it does have emotions, is what they're wanting. Okay, NPCs are going to have emotions. Can they... I don't know if it'll actually be able to track player emotions, though. That's... It might be. We'll see. So emotional state tracking. Each NPC can have emotional states like happy, frustrated, or anxious that impact their tone or willingness to help. The player's words or actions could shift these states. That's the plan. And each one will have their own variable on how their emotional states are triggered. I want it to be... There's a really great system of this already kind of at work to some degree. It's just a lot more primitive. Civilization games. Each of the NPCs have a different level of aggression in that game. And some are just so aggressive that it's almost impossible to make peace with them. That's kind of what I want to do with this, where it's like, you know, some of these people just, they only want to see the world burn. And you're occasionally going to run into anarchists that you just can't befriend. So I don't want that to... I like that that's actually something that it's thought about as well. Then you got sentiment analysis. Integrate sentiment analysis to detect the tone of the player's speech. This could guide NPCs to respond warmly to friendly remarks or defensively to hostile ones. So it does have a tone detector. That's nice. At least it's going to try to help me figure out how to set up a tone detector. We'll see how much of this it can actually help me with. Text-to-speech. Okay, that's easy enough. You got services like Google TTS or Amazon Poly. We'll find an open source TTS engine. Some advanced TTS systems allow you to modulate the tone, speed, and pitch, adding personality to each NPC voice. We'll be setting up our own our own voice packs, essentially, which we'll figure out how to work with later. Optimize for performance and consistency, efficient resource management. Real-time AI dialogue can be resource intensive, so optimize by offloading some NPC processing to background threads or using caching for common dialogues. The big thing you would have to do basically is every NPC that's not currently loaded in, and I don't know how you would work with each one being loaded in. You'd have two states of NPC. So you'd have NPCs that are active and inactive. Or three, actually. You'd have active, inactive, and unloaded. Active NPCs are the ones who are, like, within a certain radius of you who can actually hear you and respond to you. You have inactive NPCs, which are in the world, they're present, but they can't hear or see you. And then you have the unloaded ones, which are just not at all. They are not within your playable area, so they're not taking up any resources. The unloaded ones, they will generate more backstory when you go back to them. So, for example, if you hadn't visited this NPC in a year, the game will quickly generate over the last year what happened to this NPC, so you can catch up with them like they're an old friend. That might not be a bad idea. I don't know when that would happen. I guess it would put a focus on NPCs that are in your playable area, or you're in your immediate area that you're able to talk to. That way, you wouldn't notice the immersion breaking if they were too far away. Because if they're too far away, you're not going to be talking to them, so you don't need to know their new backstory. Whereas if they... I don't know. This is getting really, really, really complicated. I'm not gonna lie. My brain is a little bit cooked. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Basically, though, the idea that I have here would actually be somewhat optimized. I'd have to figure out... You'd basically have to have a simulation distance slider on your option setting, kind of like what Minecraft has, so that each player could choose how close the AI has to be to them in order to be inactive or versus active and whatnot. That way, people who have like a RTX 50 series card aren't being punished because of the 30 series cards or whatever, you know? Optimize for performance consistency. So then you got consistency mechanisms. So keep NPC dialogue consistent by using memory logs and regular expressions to prevent conflicting systems or out-of-character responses. That's probably in one of the other systems, honestly. Then you do iteration and playtesting, which, again, you usually use. So the recommended tools it's suggesting here, they're suggesting OpenAI's API, Hugging Face Transformers, or Google's BERT. I don't know any of those really all that well besides GPT AI. It's suggesting some game engines here which offer support for integrating AI systems like Unity or Unreal. We'll probably be trying to use Godot. I don't know if it knows much about Godot, so I might have to learn how to swap some things around here. We'll see. I got speech recognition here, like Google Speech to Text, Deep Speech Open Source, or Wit.ai. I don't know any of those besides Deep Speech, really, and Google Text to Speech, or Speech to Text, rather. Then you got Text to Speech, which they list a couple here as well. This kind of system will require time and experimentation, but with dedication, it can bring truly immersive NPC interactions to life. Let me know where you'd like to dive deeper, and I help guide you through each process. Honestly, it's a little less work than what I thought it would be. Now, obviously, GPT isn't without failure here. Oh, it actually kicked me out. GPT isn't completely and utterly innocent. It does make a lot of mistakes. So I wouldn't be surprised if that system doesn't work at all. So I'm going to obviously do more research than just asking ChatGPT how to make a game with super advanced AIs. Like, that's a dumb mistake. I've made that mistake before, but it's gotten me on the right process, and I at least know some things I didn't know. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know what an natural language model was. You know, that's not my my area of expertise. However, it's kind of got the right ideas. And I can even ask ChatGPT a little bit more later, giving it more stuff about my game. So, you know, it understands where it's really being implemented, so it can actually like go, okay, yeah, no, this system actually won't work because insert reason here, you know. Learning new things is always fun. Absolutely. I've learned a lot the past couple of days, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I if you don't learn, I feel like I get stagnant anyway. I don't like not learning. So I might be working on that soon. We'll see. I'm gonna just try to speed run it though and see if it even works, and then I'll make real I'll attempt to do a real attempt at it later if the proof of concept works. It's essentially like making a model train of a real train that you're planning, I guess. Like that's kind of what I'm going to be doing, I suppose. You know, it's just a little version that might run on its own, but you know, the bigger plan is, you know, much larger and much more grand and a lot cooler. I don't know. This project does sound very awesome though. I appreciate it. Like I said, I've been thinking about it for a while, so it's definitely like something I'm hyped for, and I'm hoping that I can work on, and I've been taking the idea a little bit more seriously lately. Why are we trying to fight them, guys? We don't have to jump on the bridge. Okay, we're actually doing it. I did nothing. But you know what? I'm not mad. Oh. Oh, okay. I'll let you kill him. What's up? Are we going? Let's go. If we're gonna go, go. If we're not, then stay stagnant. I don't know. Oh, they're up above. Oh. I didn't even know he was there. Oh well, that's fine. I'd love to be part of a games development at some point. I've been in robotics club and currently a mentor for the club. Nice. I'm planning on doing computer science, currently majoring in math, so maybe hopefully it'll happen. I've always wanted to make games, but I've never been smart enough to figure out code. And I've tried to take different classes. I've followed all the tutorials, and I just can't seem to get a grasp on it. I've taken like part of Harvard's free class online, CS50 on edX. It's an introduction course to computer science, but I cannot get through it. It's so bad. I'm stuck on like lesson 3, I think, which isn't terrible, but I can't get through C, dude. C is such a bad language. I know I should be able to figure it out, but for whatever reason, I can't. I cannot. Let's see. I've also taken that class. It's not a bad class. I think it might just be a skill issue. But it's, you know, it's a thing, I guess. It exists. I've not gotten through it. I gave up on it like back in June, I think. So you know, maybe I'm not cut out for that level of coding. I'm tempted to try Java or Python. I've heard Python is easy. So I might try some more Python and see where that goes. Python is definitely the easiest. Okay, noted. I'll have to check it out then. I've never messed with it before, so I'm interested. That's for sure. I used to code in Java a little bit, but I didn't really understand. I understood what I was doing, but I didn't know how to make stuff without somebody telling me what to do. And I go, of course, yeah, of course you would be using, you know, insert thing here because it does this. And it's like, yeah, why didn't I think of that? But I couldn't tell you how to even do it yourself. I coded little Lego robots and robotics class in Python. It was very fun. That sounds awesome. I can count. I knew there was too many of us, but I wasn't sure who was who, to be honest. Oh my gosh, we're just slaying. Good job, guys. I remember there was a website out there. Was it code.org? They used to have these cool little coding games that taught you a little bit about visual scripting anyway. I don't know if it still exists, but I used to do that a little bit. Again, visual scripting though, I can sort of understand that to a degree. And I would be down to try it again. I feel like that might be where the industry is headed, just to some degree, because they're trying to make it easier, I think, anyway. Oh. That was clever, I'm not gonna lie. That was really clever of you guys. It was just block coding at first, then we got non-Lego robots, and moved on to simple Python coding. It's a good starting point. I'll have to look into that then. I've never touched Python before, and I have done a little bit of block coding. Like I've been on Scratch before. I made a couple of small games there. They're not bad. It's definitely hard though, and I know this is a me issue. It's hard starting out doing things you don't want to do. And that's my problem with Scratch, is like, it's good for teaching you syntax, that's for sure. Like, you need to understand the order of operations, that way you don't jump the gun and your code doesn't work at all. But Scratch, I mean, you can make 3D games with Scratch, like, don't get me wrong, you can do anything in it. It's just a matter of should you do anything in it? And the answer is no. No, you shouldn't. Like, for example, my game, there is no way you can make that in Scratch. There's just... You could. It's just so dumb. I don't think anybody should attempt it. Dang it. The motivation is hardest part. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm trying to take it on step by step, essentially, I guess, now, which is, like, really tough. Like, I don't know where you begin on large language models, but I guess we're gonna figure out, because we gotta put it all together. I don't know the first thing about developing an AI, but this is, like, better than trying to say, okay, I want to make an FPS game, and then looking up all the tutorials on how to make an FPS game, and you're like, I don't know how to make it my own, though. And then everybody's like, well, if you want to learn how to make games, then you need to start with this 2D platformer, and then slowly make yourself a bigger and bigger game. It's like, I can't do that. I can't try to make clones of other games. It just kills me. Although I am going to try to clone some mechanics to some degree in the FPS portion of the game. We're kind of going to do, for the demo anyway, I'd kind of like to just do basically GTA, but with more advanced AI. And then we'll move on from there. Okay. Everybody kept walking in front of me. I just wanted my little sword, that's all. Hello? Hey, Swifty, how's it going? Okay, take that. Boop. I was working on a game where you can pause time and crap and just mess with stuff. That's cool. I will say that is one mechanic I didn't talk to you guys too much about. Time. I do want to mess with time travel a little bit in the game and see if we can mess with that in a fun way. But I'm not sure we can. Oh no, we're not up here anymore. Gotcha. Okay. But time manipulation is a crazy thing in the game because what you're gonna end up with is the AI. Okay, wait, no, I just thought of it. Okay. This is why they tell you to always have like a rubber duck on hand for code. You guys can't see, I just picked up my rubber duck. You guys are my rubber duck right now. I was about to explain why I couldn't do it, but I just figured out how to do it. So my problem was that you couldn't reliably make it so that you could interact with yourself in the past. So you'd have to make it so that you replace your past self, which just isn't a fun mechanic in my opinion. There's not much purpose to it. It would be like going back to an old save. Whereas if you go back in time and you're interacting with yourself, what you could do is have a AI being trained on your character at all times. And so it gives you an actual reason to roleplay because you could actually take that file of that character after you're all done and okay, you could take that file and then upload it to like the workshop, for example, and you'd have the ability to like have other people play as, or not play as you, but have you in their world. And so it populates with even more realistic AIs, if you wanted to. You wouldn't have to. That's an option, I guess. I mean, that's an idea. That's an idea. I don't know if I would do it, because you'd have to have... The terms and conditions of this game are going to be a mess. That's one of my major concerns as well, is like the legalities of all this, like... I don't know. Imagine going back in time and just shooting yourself. I mean, that's a feature I kind of want to do. I need to figure out how I want to do the mechanics for the game. If I want to make a multiverse thing where it's like Avengers, where if you go back and kill past you, it just creates a new timeline, and it doesn't affect your current timeline, so it's not going to affect current you. Or I could do it like Back to the Future, where if you kill yourself in the past, you cease to exist in the future. If you add time travel, you need to pick your time paradox poison. Exactly. And I do want to make it so you can just kill all of reality by time traveling too much, because I don't want that to be the only thing in the game that people do. You know, there's plenty of other things for you to do. I want to teach people that it's wrong to just keep going back in time and resetting things. But I want to do that in a fun way. So, you know, that might be an ending that you would want to get in the world. But it's not necessarily recommended every time you play to try that. I think it could be cool to have set certain dates to cool stuff, like September 11th, 2001. Yes. And that is in the plans to like a degree. It's just like, how many keystone dates do you want to add? Like, and how much can you realistically change is the other thing. I don't know. I'd probably have to go with the Avengers method. just make it so that there's other timelines out there and call it good. Probably the predestination paradox is the best. When the actions of a person traveling back in time become part of past events and may ultimately cause the event he is trying to prevent to take place. Yeah. You could do that. The problem is, how do you even begin to, like, code that nightmare? Like, let's say you do 9/11, for example. I'm only using that as the example because you used it, and I think it's funny. Let's say you try to stop, you know, one of the flights from being hijacked, and you do. Well, then what's going to happen is you'd have to code in that just no matter what, some other plane comes from another place. But what if you go back in time again and try to stop it again, and this time you command one of your other NPCs to go stop that flight? And thus you have a never-ending loop. Well, eventually you have every airport and every plane covered. It still has to happen, which I guess in this case I could just say, oh yeah, there was actually bombs planted in each of the pillars, and that's what actually melted the steel beams, because jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. But, you know, there are other events where that can't necessarily take place, and I don't know how you'd take care of it. You get there at that exact time, someone builds a new airplane, and it flies out of control. I worry... Is this really going to be every game I'm in where somebody keeps trying to kill us? Because if so, I'm starting to report people. I don't care. Yeah, I don't know. I just worry that there's too many scenarios that I'd have to try to cover Swifty with that. Where if we just go multiverse, like, it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, you can live in that universe, and things will just change, I guess. The nice thing is if you go back in time to keystone dates in the universe, like, say, you know, for example, anything before the year 2100, space travel hasn't really been invented yet. It has been, but it's not all that great. So, you know, you can go to, like, the moon, to Mars, to those kind of places, but you can't go to, like, the Andromeda system or whatever, you know? I absolutely got wrecked there. So it would severely limit the amount of things you could do in the game, and I just got to figure out how I want the time travel to actually work. Do I want it to be like a little watch, so it's like, oh yeah, you can travel time with this watch, kind of like in Spider-Verse? Do I want it to be like Back to the Future, where they use this, flying car? Is it, Phineas and Ferb, where it's a literal machine that you need to sit in? Is it, Avengers, where there's this thing in the real world, or not the real world, where in your reality, it pulls you out, and it'll only pass time for a few seconds, but for you, it's, you know, as much time as you need. I don't know. I don't know. Time travel is such a weird thing, I don't know how I would go about it. Hear me out, you shoot yourself with it, and it kills you, but it recreates you? That's an interesting idea. I don't know. I really don't know. Science fiction is such a finicky thing. Because part of the game is, like, almost demanding to be taken seriously, and part of it is, like, at the same time, just not. It shouldn't be taken seriously, and I don't know which side of things I want to go for there. Is the word gun censored? Not for me, but I mean, I see everything you guys post. I know some people don't like to say the word gun on Twitch, but it won't get you banned. I mean, there's plenty of games with guns. I've said it tons of times. It's kind of like the word simp. It's about the word context that you choose. So, so long as you aren't... So long as you aren't, using it in negative contexts, it's fine. Okay. Where'd he go? Buddy just died, I think. I don't know. It wasn't where I left him. I'm back. Hey, welcome back. Okay. Oh no. No. Okay. There we go. I was saying it was gun. Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's a bad idea. I just I gotta think. I kind of like the idea of it being a watch, but at the same time, I kind of also like the idea of the time travel mechanic being tied to a vehicle. But the problem with it being a vehicle then is like you could do space travel before everybody else, which could create an interesting little conundrum. You just wouldn't be able to go into the future the future wouldn't have been written yet, I guess, in that reality. So you wouldn't be able to go back. The only way to go back to where you were would be to return everything as it was, which creates too many issues. Time travel sucks. This is like a mechanic I really would like to add, but I don't know how in the world to begin to implement it, because time travel... A time necklace is cool, dude. True. I think I like it being tied to the player, then, because it stops you running into that issue of, like, okay, we get somewhere before everybody else, so we make a little town, and so then it turns into a giant civilization when I return back to the future. And that creates, like, a whole other issue with gameplay loop, where it's, like, suddenly the game is cheesed. Which, I guess, is kind of not my problem to some degree. You could just say, you do the Mojang thing, where it's like, okay, they learned how to farm iron golems. Oh, well. But at the same time, like, I don't know. You leave some glaring things in there, it becomes the meta, and it ruins things. Like raid farms, for example. Mojang did patch those out. Sort of. But they kept it in an interesting way that it's not, like, completely and totally, you know... It didn't completely ruin them. They still work, they're just not as efficient. I don't know. I also gotta think about what the use is for time travel. Like, is it cool? Yes. But what purpose does it serve? Other than being able to go into, like, actual events and see what's going on, and I don't know. I feel like that might just be out of the scope of this game. And that's okay, I guess. You could kill NPCs to make them cease to exist. True. And what you could do, I suppose, is you could make time travel a thing where you can only travel back in time to dates that the time travel device existed. So, you know, you couldn't go back to, 2001, for example. But what you could do is you could go back in time to 2192, when the time travel device was invented. So that way it gets rid of the problem of going so far back in time that it is useless and players wonder why in the world you created it, and allowing you to go back in time to fix mistakes that you made or to remove people that you hate. So, you don't like Kevin, that's your next door neighbor, you can kill him. You just gotta kill him before, or when the time travel machine was invented, so kill him back in, 2 years before you met him or whatever. Just don't tell them that, though. Let them go back. Like, how do you mean? How do you mean? Then their device just disappears the second they get there. That would be kind of funny. But at the same time, I feel like people would get so annoyed that it would make people mad, especially like after you rizz up like your wife or whatever. Little note pops up like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention one little detail. Oh. Okay. I mean, I guess, like, as long as you have a save system, but the save files are gonna get so massive. It's gonna be so insane. Because each save file would have to have all the NPCs tied to it. It wouldn't just be, like, a basic code where it's like, okay, you made this major decision, you made this major decision. I just send you back, probably. I guess that could happen, yeah. And what I could always do is start with one system. So, like, for example, it only works within the time period that it was invented. So that way it solves any issue that you might have. And then later on, if I figure out a solution to the time travel issues that I'm having right now, I can just implement it into the game as a world event where I'm gonna die. Yep. Where there's a Mark II version and it lets you travel in time to any time, any place. That way, I could also make it so players could submit places that they want beforehand and go, okay, I'm implementing a better time travel mechanic. What are some places that you guys would travel back in time to? And start implementing those as I go. It would be a fun little idea, I guess. That's an okay idea. It would at least solve the issue of having to have all the solutions right there. I don't know. There's just gonna be so many messed up ones, because nobody's gonna be like January 6th, 2011. True. And I mean, that's the thing, I could feed that to an AI and tell it to try to build the world, but it's just not gonna work out. Like, people have tried that, and sometimes it works, but it's just not fantastic. Justice! No! No! I thought I avenged my team. That kind of hurt, I'm not gonna lie. I thought for sure I had him. Oop. Oop. Right behind him. No! Yes! He's dead! Okay, I will take that. I was just really wanting that one kill. Okay. We're gonna be June 28th, 1914. Wonder if you know that date? 1914. That was that would be World War I, right? I think. Hang on. I actually might be too many years behind, ahead of that. Hang on. 1914. Yep, World War I. That was when, yep, Austria's, president, I guess, got assassinated. Which was was that Was that what they called the gunshot heard around the world or something like that? That might be, I don't remember. I think that's what it was. If that, it was the day the nerd got shot. Yeah, yeah. I know a little bit of World War I history. World War II overshadows most of that, though, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sure there would be plenty of people that would say something like that. And honestly, that might just be a second game that I have to make. Because I worry about... I worry about making too many things for the AI to try to keep track of that it starts to suffer. Would it be cool? Absolutely. But is it feasible? I don't know. Feasibility does have some amount of play here, I suppose. There should be an option to like pop a silencer on the gun and the thing changes to in the future to a gunshot heard all around the world, but heard by none. It would be funny to do like little Easter eggs like that are so obscure. I would be so down. Okay. Watching. Okay, go. Okay, oh boy. There we go. Okay, we need to get back together. Where are you? We're down there. Okay, we're across the way. I think I could get down. That's not worth it. I am not digging that. We'll just go down. I'm so low. Why did he leave me alone? Can I eat, please? Let me eat. Come on down, why don't ya? Oh. Okay. I'm not gonna die for this cause. One day when this big have a whole group just make those dumb Easter eggs. That's kind of the plan, I think. I'm just gonna have people submit them as we're doing beta testing, and you know, there's gonna be some random ones where like you can meet me and as the creator. I think that'd be really, really fun. Just run into AI me. And then there's gonna be times where like there's gonna be times where there's like Easter eggs to like Technoblade, for example. I've already got a few planned out there. Okay, he's dead. No, he's not. He's not dead. He's not dead. Okay. AI reg, what will he say? No one knows. No one knows. And you know, that's the most terrifying thing. That is one of the most terrifying things. But I'd love to make it kind of Ready Player One, where there's just Easter eggs hidden about. And that's my plan for like finding AI reg. in order to find them, you have to complete certain Easter eggs, and you know, it's gonna be very reminiscent of Ready Player One, where it's like, okay, you have to do this race, and it's based off of this thing, based on his life from so long ago, and I might even use the Vods as like the starting point there, and kind of then make the riddles based around that, I guess. There's an idea anyway. I'm not certain exactly how I want to go about it. But, you know, that's a plan for once the game's ready for release and has achievements enabled. Because, fun fact, you cannot make Steam achievements by default. You have to actually, like, get approval from Steam, which requires a certain amount of sales, I guess. Or a certain amount of wish lists and sales. It's a certain type of feed AI VODs. Honestly, though, that's not a bad idea. Because then it would act just like me, which is terrifying. I could actually feed it every single one of my VODs, though. We are caught in the middle of a really bad storm, and I don't like this. Ah! Oh boy. Crap. Dang it. Okay. Let's see. If you need some AI songs for AI King, hit me up. That would be really funny. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it yet, but I would like to try to contract some people to do, to be in the game. And, they'd be real musicians, who would play a live show in the game. So you'd have, like, Coldplay, for example. And I'd get the licensing to their music to run forever. And, you know, as a random event, Coldplay runs a concert in the game. And they could pick whatever name they want for their concert or whatever. And they could just still be Coldplay if they want. But you could go to a Coldplay concert in the game. And, you know, they'd sing the songs. And there could be random events that happen at the concert, or you could do things at the concert that then make a name for yourself in whatever way you want. So, you know, if your plan is, like, I want to make a name for myself in the most worst way possible, I want to be, like, the intergalactic terrorist here, you can do that. I don't recommend it, but you could do that. Fortnite live event. Whoa. Essentially, yeah. I'm not sure how well I could do it, though. That's my concern, I guess. Because, I mean, if you think about it this way, you're fitting like 100,000 AIs into a tight room. So you might have to just disable the advanced AI features in there, or turn down the interactive zone. So you can only interact with them right next to you because they're so busy listening to the concert that they can't hear you. Or something like that. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. No! Oh, what am I doing? That was a bad idea. Who talks at concerts? Shaking my head. Exactly. We've already solved the issue. They just don't interact with you. However, once the concert's like over, could you imagine how like buggy it gets? Oh my gosh. I guess they still wouldn't talk to you. They're just tired or drunk. It'll be fine. They give you a mean mug and go back to dancing. Exactly. I like the way you think, Electronic. Yo, King, gift me the Ice Spice skin. I'm okay. I don't think I want to do that, Derek. We should be able to watch AI VODs and videos in the game. Did you mean all VODs and videos in the game, or do you mean AI VODs and videos in the game? Because that would be an interesting idea. Actually, AI generate VODs and videos of me to make more riddles. Oh, jeez. All. Okay. 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 Gotcha. Gotcha. I was like, that's gonna get so crazy in depth. And I don't know how I would even begin to, like, think about this. And I don't want to waste people's time either. They're gonna be easier riddles. Like, obviously, if you want to find this secret, then, like, I'm gonna make people work for it. It's gonna be a long search. Okay. AI would be cool, too. It would be. It would be. Mix AI ones with the real ones as red herrings. That would be funny. I'm gonna make people have to pull out the King Reg wiki. I don't know if we don't have a wiki, do we? I don't think we do. Somebody joked about making one a while back, and I think I had a page for like 2 weeks, and then somebody deleted it because they're like, you know what, I don't want to make a wiki. I'm like, you know, fair enough. I don't want to either. But when the game gets made, I'll have to make a whole wiki page. And so long as I can keep people from digging in the files to find all the secrets, I think it would be really fun. I think it'd be really, really fun to make an Easter egg hunt. Fade it and put you outside. You could do that, yeah. The problem is, like, this is just me being picky. I want the game to be so immersive that there's, like, no loading screens, there's no fade outs, things like that. So, like, you could do that, yeah. But on the inverse of that, does that feel immersive? And I don't know is the answer. Like, I want this to be so big and good that it's like, when you're playing in VR, it almost feels like you're there, or as close as you could get to being there anyway. You're on the biggest wiki page for this game ever. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be so big. And like, okay, one thing we could do to monetize the game a little bit to help fund its development, I'll print out the wiki page, or like a... Oh, okay. Okay, here's what we could do. We could, I could make those, limited time, like, walkthroughs of the game that, they used to run for the old games, like, on the PS2 and Game Boy and Nintendos and things like that, where, like, they would give you this magazine that would help you learn how to play the game. We could do printouts of that, that people could buy, and so there'd be the first edition, second edition, as we get further into development, you know, you'd get more types that you could buy, and they'd be limited runs, so, you know, you'd buy it within like a month of that major version being released. Printed walkthroughs. I kind of like the idea, I'm not gonna lie. I never really thought about merchandising this game because it's just been like a passion project, but merchandising would actually be kind of sick, not gonna lie. I still gotta think of a name for it though. Can I not shoot him? None of us were able to shoot him. I'm starting to question this. I'd buy that. Okay, I'll have to look into it then. Gotta have a good name. I don't know what the name is gonna be, to be honest. It's such a big game. You know, it's kind of like how Minecraft, nowadays, if somebody were trying to name it, I don't think it would ever get the name Minecraft, because the game is so much more than mining and crafting. But it's gotta be simple is the thing. Naming is one of the hardest parts, absolutely. I mean, this is like the everything game, basically. It's a little bit of everything poured into one pile. And, well, it's not even just a little bit of everything, it's a lot of everything. I wonder, give ChatGPT your doc and see what it gives you. I don't know if I can give it my entire doc. I have a really big doc. I'm not gonna lie. But I could try. To feed it. It's not a super in-depth doc, so I mean... It's not gonna get the basics of it's gonna have the absolute bare basics of everything. I'm making a game and I need help naming it. Here's my GDD. What do you think what are some names I should call it? A little bit of everything all the time. At all. That actually might be a fire name. Leave it to Electronic to come up with things. I'll give you royalties for that one. Okay. Here are some names that suggested. Chronoverse, the King's Reign. I don't know where King's Reign came from other than Project King, I think. Chronoverse isn't a bad name. Literally means and others. I mean, that's honestly not bad. Like, for real, though. Echoes of Eternity, Kingdoms of the Forgotten Realms, Odyssey, the Royal Frontier, Time-Bound Sovereign, Genesis of Realms, Celestial Chronicles, Vanguard of the Infinite, Dominion Across Time, Echoes of the Cosmos. It's not really what I'm liking there, I'm gonna be honest. Someone told Ant, don't know if he knows I'm him. Somebody told him, like, what? That... Hang on. He is not who he says he is. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I see. Okay. Mentioned this stream. I haven't said anything about Pete, but it wouldn't surprise me if anybody else has. Hear me out. Omnia, it's the Latin word for everything. Okay, not bad. Latin is always a good go-to. Okay. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it, Oswald. Latin is not a bad go-to for things. Omnia. And et al. Both of those are so good. When in doubt, look at all their languages. That's literally what English has done, you know? We just steal from other languages all the time. Cool planet names too, absolutely. I've got a couple of names I'd like to save for some of the planets, and I have written those down. Oh, I do need that. Oh, give that back. Thank you. Yeah. Omnia. What would I want the logo to look like for that? Can anyone... what's the word for, like... infinite, like, for example? What would infinite in Latin be? I don't know if they have a direct translation for infinite, but I'm sure they have a close one. It honestly might be super, super close. Infinitum. Okay. I was gonna say, it might actually be just super, super close. Okay, I need to go. Go, 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 go. I live. I live. I live. Okay. Infinitum. Infinitum. Okay. I think I like Omnia best so far. It's not bad. It gets the point across, I think, at least to what it could be. Nobody probably knows what it means when they first see it, but it sounds like it could be an open world kind of game. You know, it's got that similar name and feel to it. I gotta weaken the competition. No! Okay. We tried. And so he flew. What other names? Here, let me write down these. I'm gonna sleep on them. For sure. Okay, enter title here. So we've got at all. I'm still not against that one. I like it. Omnia. Infinitum. Okay. There we go. Sweet. Because branding does matter. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. It definitely matters. Omnia sounds cool to me, like some cool sci-fi name, but it just means everything. Yeah. Sea Dog. I know Sea Dog, but from where? Is Sea Dog a streamer? Hang on. Twitch. Mute tab. Sea Dog. It's not the same Sea Dog. Not the really, really big one that everybody knows, but 0012. Yep. I actually think I've watched this guy before. I'll check out his channel in a little bit. Branding definitely matters. Amazing games get overlooked because of bad branding. Absolutely. Absolutely. I thought I was being rushed. I was like, no, please. I was just messing around. I was goofing off. And streamers, like, why did my first channel fail? Yeah, names matter. They do. Oh, dang it. It's fine. But yeah, branding will be a big one. And that one I might need to pay people to help me with, because I cannot. I cannot name for the life of me. Well, I can't do art for the life of me. I already know I'm probably going to be paying a lot of people to help me with textures and whatnot, because we're basically going to run the lowest poly version of the game to start with until I can fund, like, actual 3D textures and stuff. So you're going to be running, like, I've been thinking optimization-wise, since you're going to need mostly your GPU for AI purposes, by default, the game will run natively with a lower resolution pack. Unless technology just gets to the point where it's fine and we don't need to worry about the lower end devices, but I'll have a pack that you can use. And what you'll do with that is it'll basically be kind of like the original Doom games, where it's in a 3D space, but it's a 2D sprite, and it just turns to look at you at all times, basically. And it gives it the appearance that it's 3D, but it's actually just a 2D image. It would run so quickly. It wouldn't even be funny. I mean, that's assuming the AI is optimized well. This is called Sam's Gaming TV. I wonder why it failed. If you need me, I have branded like millions of channels and stuff by now. I probably could come up with the branding on my own. It's more so like, I don't know how in the world to even begin to make it. That's the big one. I don't do art. I'm pretty garbage when it comes to art. I do have a lot of friends who are artists though. They might be down to help with at least some of the branding, like logos and things like that. I don't know. I don't know. I shouldn't be too caught up on the branding right now. I don't even have a working product. Like, yeah, branding is important. It's absolutely important. But it's definitely more important that we actually get a demo going. Well, it's equally as important. That's more so what I'm trying to say anyway. Let's see. Logos are simple. I feel like look at top games and look at their logos. They're not very advanced. Most are just text. True. I don't want this. I mean, I want it to be a game that sells well, obviously. And I think, honestly, if you go, for example, like with Infinitum, I'm sure I'm not even saying it right, but let's say you go with that one. Literally all you need is an infinity symbol. Throw on like a white gradient, a white to off-white like gradient on there, and that would be probably about your most modern day logo ever. However, I'd kind of like to go something a little better than that even. Omnia, you could go with the Omega symbol. You know, that one that I'm talking about? The Omega symbol was hieroglyphs. You could kind of go with something like that even. I think that would be an interesting idea. I don't know. I'm okay at art. I have a love-hate relationship with it, but I did take a graphic tech and design class for a semester. I drew for like a total of 36 hours on stream over the course of like 4 weeks. But I did not. I was not improving at the rate I wanted to. Now I'm trying to get into drawing again. Trying to get back into art. But I'm gonna do a drawing tablet this time because I've been using keyboard and mouse. Which I've heard is not the recommended method. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, this is embarrassing. I don't have any pants for you. Graphic, not graphing. I figured you meant graphing, or graphic, sorry. No! Dang it. I figured you meant graphic, but I wasn't gonna correct you. You're the one here for, you're the one taking classes, man. Everything I know is self-taught. I took a little bit of Blender. I'm not good at it, but I did do a little bit of Blender. I even messed with Blender recently. I haven't made anything my own, but I did set up a scene because thumbnails. But yeah, I think I'll definitely need to either spend a lot of time learning about the graphic side of things or just pay people to help me with it, because I can learn one skill, but to learn all of the skills all at once is gonna be frustrating. It'll be interesting to see though, that's for sure. Let's see. Hello, Sir Sub? Sir. I'm having a really hard time with your name, and I apologize. But hello, how are you doing? Welcome on in. Let's see. Like, if you used Omnia, you could have a blue sci-fi font with brackets around Omnia, like in Redacted. That's not a bad idea. And I will say this. A lot of companies, they'll have like a text logo, and then they'll have a what else do they have? They have the oh, give me that. I don't want that. You can have it. Oh, you're not here. Okay, I'll take it. But they'll have like a text logo, and then they'll have like an actual logo. That might be also what we do, because when you're using different brandings across different sites, sometimes you need different things. So it's not like, I mean, they'll tell you about that in digital marketing. Like, for example, on a website, some places make sense to have a logo, some make sense to have like just your font to text and call it a day. Okay. Oh, no! Oh gosh. Okay. I lost my sword. Okay. I'm gonna die. Okay. No webcam? Yeah, no webcam today, Spicy. It's broken right now, so I can't use it. But I'm gonna fix it. Probably after stream. Let's see. What drawing tablet to use? Yes, we do need to know that. I mainly, aka only, do traditional. I have a drawing tablet, but digital art just hasn't clicked yet. That's fair. I need to learn digital art because I want to do streams with it, and I want to do thumbnails. Like, actually drawing my thumbnails, I think that would be really funny. And it would beat the Photoshops that I've been doing as well, I think. Thank you for the alert, Spicy. I appreciate it. It's a Huion Inspiroi H640p. Not very fancy, but it works well. Okay. Write that one down. I was getting ready to, yeah. I've been looking at trying to get a drawing tablet, so I'll throw that on the list. Okay, that's not too expensive either. So if I don't like it, then it's not like I sunk a ton of money into it. Okay, sweet. Thank you. Think about playing BattleBox this stream? Probably not. I actually probably will be ending relatively soon. I don't know. It depends on how much longer we talk. But probably not. BattleBox requires too much focus out of me. This is just kind of a game I turn off my mind and chat with y'all. I've had it for 3 years now, still working well. Okay, sweet. I'll definitely look into it then. If I get more serious about art after that, then I can buy like one of the higher dollar tablets. I'll save for it. But, you know, something simple like that isn't bad at all. I'm waiting for you to buy one, then see if you like it, then I'll buy the same one. That's fair, Swifty. That's fair. I asked Kit which one she uses, and she says, honestly, grab any iPad that's, like, newer than, I think she said 2020. And she said get, like, Procreate and just draw on that. However, iPads, once you get into the iPad territory, like, I don't have an iPad new enough for Procreate, so that's not gonna work. Plus, I don't have, my iPad is so old it doesn't even run the first gen of Apple Pencil, so I did look into it. I did. It's just not gonna work out, unfortunately. But I asked her, and she was like, "Yeah, that's what I use." It's like, well, by the time I look into buying a whole new iPad and an Apple Pencil or any type of electronic pencil to make it work well, you're better off just buying a high dollar drawing tablet for your PC. Because if something sucks, King will be straight up about it. Oh, I have gotten pretty well to the point where I'm just like, yeah, you know, screw you, screw this, screw everything. My enjoyment in life has gone down by a significant amount. These guys are gonna hate me. I'm such a loot goblin right now. Okay, orange is here, aren't they? They were here. They are here. Come on. Oh. Sweet. Okay, let me catch up here. Let's see, that's my mindset. I'll upgrade once I actually start doing digital art often. That's a great way to think about it. It stops you from spending too much money and then not actually doing the hobby. And I mean, I've been looking at it and I've gone like, yeah, I'm gonna just... I have enough time I can wait. I'm not that desperate. I'm gonna get some money this Christmas, probably. If I don't, then I'll just wait until I get a job. I'm getting a job soon anyway, so that might be news to you guys. I've told you for a while now that I'm planning on getting a job. That's like a lot closer than what it was. Okay. Let's see. I've heard Procreate and Paint tools. MCCI are the goats. I've not heard of that one before, but I'm sure it's good. It's Stampy skin. That guy's based. The FBI finally hit you back. No. Well, yes, they told me no, but I am being rushed, to say the least. Yeah. I can't say much more than that right now because I don't feel like talking about it. Let's see. iPad with Procreate is pretty good, but being able to use many different softwares on your PC is very useful. Absolutely. When it comes down to it, like, you're looking at, like, what is it, 400 for a new iPad, probably? Where a high dollar drawing tablet is like 300. I mean, it ranges 300 to 400, but like, let's just look up iPad right now. If you're gonna buy an iPad brand new, you might as well buy the newest one. So let's just open up apple.com here. Buy the iPad just plain. You've got buy. Okay, how much does this cost? It's about $500 for an iPad. And that's not including the Airs or the Pros or whatever, you know, that's just a plain iPad. You know, once you look at that, you're like, I might as well just buy the tool for the PC. Now, like, an iPad does so much more. But if your main purpose for buying it is for art, then you're kind of screwed. You might as well just buy the one that you actually want. Okay. You're on back to Walmart? No. Well, maybe. I don't know. My brother hasn't even been able to land a job there, and he's been applying for like a year now. So I'm kind of assuming our Walmart's crappy like that, and probably they definitely have preferences. But I really am going to avoid going back to Walmart because I'd rather get a different job on the resume than go back there. You know? Ideally, one that I don't have to deal with people who, how do I say this? I don't like the clientele at Walmart. That's just the truth. They're garbage people. I'm sorry. Thank you for submitting your taxes, Swiftu. Dab, hydrate, hydrate. All right, here's your dab. You can't see it, but you're gonna have to believe it. I got a terrible headache. Need some sleep. Go to get some rest. Go get some rest. Okay, I'm doing all the things I promised. You could probably hear the hydrates. I gotta move. Okay. You guys, there's so much going on. I will respond soon enough. Okay, it's me and this other guy, and I'm not nearly as scared as he is. Pew. Pew. Oh. That's nice. Okay. 3 minutes of ad time? Jeez. Okay. Gotcha. Let me catch up on chat first. Really, really, really fast, because ads are actually about to start anyway. An example of you hating something is King Pregnog? Yes, exactly. It's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. We'll see. We'll see. Your current iPad might be able to run other apps like Infinite Paint. Good art app. Okay, I might look into it. Finger drawing is a whole other ballgame. That's true. That is very, very true. Paying $18 an hour. I think here they're not paying that much. It's like $14 or $15. Unless that's a recent thing, but I don't think they are here anyway. Hope you're ready. Goes away soon. So yes, absolutely. Candy, emo only, ad time. Okay, waffles or pancakes. Oh, you keep me busy, dude. Which is better? Waffles, pancakes. Okay, you guys got a minute. Enjoy. 14 to 15 at Walmart. Yeah, it's hardly even worth it. I could work just about anywhere and get 14 to 15 an hour now. And Walmart is not my kind of place, man. That's the amount my parents make at their normal jobs. I'll say this much. We get spoiled a lot with how much we get paid, but you also have to look at cost of living per state. So, for example, here in West Virginia, we actually get... we have one of the lowest cost of livings in the entire U.S. The housing market here is not as bad as it is in a lot of other places. You go to California, you have to be paid $20 an hour at minimum. Whereas, like, here, it's like, you know, $10 an hour is actually not that bad, all things considered. I know several people who get paid that much an hour. Our minimum wage is cooked here at $7.50. Most places don't pay minimum wage here. Minimum wage is still, I think, pretty low in West Virginia. I can look it up. Here, let me check really, really, really fast. West Virginia minimum wage. Ours is $8.75. Now, like I said, you can get $10 an hour jobs anywhere. Any of the fast food places, they pay at least $10 to $12 an hour starting out. You could go work at Subway, and I think they pay $14 an hour starting out. Walmart, it depends on the store. It really does. I don't know how much they pay now, but I believe it's 14 to 15. And I think you get $1 raise after working there for a full year, so, you know, you get 16, I guess. I'll go to the marathon nearby, maybe get 8. That's not bad. It's not terrible, at least. I'd recommend working at Walmart for anybody. Walmart does have a national average of, like, I want to say $14 an hour. And I think they have a standard low, so like baseline pay across the nation of like at least 11. It was 11 when I worked there, so I'm sure it's higher now. So I'd recommend trying to work at a Walmart if you have one nearby, Swiftu. Our fast food places won't care. $7.50 on the dot. I see. I'll have to look around and see what's what's the deal here, but I'm not sure. It's been a little bit. I'm gonna grab a candy really quick. I got so many Milky Ways. We're gonna eat Milky Way really, really fast. We go to job fairs in the upcoming years to see some stuff. Okay. Yeah, definitely just look around, see your options. You know, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say what you could get. No, there's plenty of options. It's just, deciding how much your time is worth. That's for sure. All right, I'm gonna eat this piece of candy really, really fast. Okay, there we go. Sorry, that I should never eat Milky Way Milky Way ever again. Those take a lot longer to chew than I remember them. I trust you're eating it. I did eat it. I did eat it. I promise. Go to bed, Swifty. You need to rest. Yes. Go bed. Go bed. I will say we're probably coming up to the end of tonight's stream soon-ish. I know ads just kind of played, so I don't want to end right after that, but maybe 3 or 4 more games probably. So if anyone has anything else they'd like to add on other topics that we've had, please go ahead and leave those now. Otherwise, I will miss it, and your opinion needs to be heard. Everyone's opinion should be heard. Effervescent is a awesome name. That is amazing. I'm going mid. We're not gonna mess with that. Okay. Yep. Go. I'm excited about our game, though. I think we've got some possibilities for it, and like I said, I'm gonna try to learn drawing soon, so I can at least try to get some of the really important parts finished. Sketching out things and some basic designs would be pretty cool. Okay, go. No! Okay, I wasted all those, but I think I got away. Okay. We're good. Hey, Spicy, welcome back. Okay. Ah, jeez. I'm back, buddy. Okay. Try me. Okay, you're gonna shoot me. That's crazy, dude. Okay. Okay, I'm like 40% done. I am just trying to figure out one mechanic. Oh, for the game you guys are working on? You guys are making pretty good progress if that's the case. That's insane, dude. I don't know how big of a game you're making, but I respect it. We shouldn't be taking out each other. We should be taking out the big team, but you left me no choice. Oh. Okay, I can't kill him. It's like 48 hours to beat. Oh. Dang. Pretty big game then. I'm out of arrows, dang it. How? How does he have more? Oh my gosh. Okay, go, 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 go. You have to die. He refuses. I'm gonna die. Yeah. Second survivor. Dang. Okay. 48 hours to beat. New game plus is closer to 26. Okay. It's pretty big then. Can you share any details about the game, or are you keeping it all confidential? It's fair enough either way. I'm just curious. I got a whole team on this game of 7 devs. Nice. That's pretty cool, dude. I definitely think having a small team is well worth it. I mean, it makes things a whole lot easier. Makes it a whole lot easier if things are going wrong, that you can have other people look at it and go, yeah, that's right. Or no, that's absolutely wrong. What are you doing? But I'm too much of a control freak to let people help me. I know I would be a pain to work with, so I spare everybody the pain of even trying. Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. It's gonna be about a rundown world, and the whole end goal is to find a purpose when an old man loses everything before brain rot kills him. That sounds awesome. That actually sounds kind of awesome. I'm totally for the brain rot killing people. I like the idea. Are you guys are you guys gonna like publish it on Steam, or do you guys have a plan of where it's going? Is it for like a game jam even? I do realize those are things as well. Oh, here. Hey. Okay, he got something, that's all that matters. I realize that he could have been pretty upset by that. Okay. Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and the goal is Switch 2. Nice. Okay. Well, let me know when it comes out. I'll have to check it out sometime then. Or if you guys have a trailer whenever that's ready, let me know and I'll take a look. Ouch. Okay. One mechanic is the disability. Oh boy. What does it do? I'm curious. Okay, we'll play one more round. One more round after this, and then I'll wrap up with a raid and we'll say hello to somebody. Okay. 6th place. Oh well. I have talked a lot, haven't I? I noticed my throat is starting to get a little tight and, like, sore. So like, well, am I... Why would that be? And it's like, I've been yapping. I've been talking a lot. You guys got me talking about my game again, and... I think that was entirely my fault, too. That wasn't, like, my intent to go into that today, but I totally started talking about it. Okay. Final round. Let's make it count. Okay. Pew. Oh, now this is epic. Okay. Pew. And... There we go. Okay, okay. I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, there we go. I just gotta live. Try me, buddy. Try me. I'm being pelted. Oh boy, okay, let's go. I see you. Okay, okay, what am I doing? We got people on all sides and we are all huddled up. This is not a good idea. Oh, okay. Dang it. Okay, oh well, okay. I can't speak on what it does, but the disability occurs when you consume caffeine, when they get nervous/anxious, or when they overexert their bodies physically by too much physical activity as a certain character. I see. Interesting. That'll be an interesting game then. I'll again, like, let me know. Let me know when you got something I can look at anyway, and I'll definitely take a look and see what you guys put together, because I'm intrigued. I always like seeing what you guys are up to. I myself have ideas to create awesome things. However, I myself have not created said awesome things yet. So when you guys do awesome things, I want to see it, because it makes me motivated, and it makes me happy seeing other people do things. So definitely let me know. Okay. I will say, unfortunately, that this is where we are going to end things for today. So, I'm going to encourage you all to hop in the raid with me. We're going to say hello to a streamer. I don't know who just yet. Let's say hi. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Let's go say hi to Ant. He's playing hardcore right now, it looks like. And I think it would be great to go say hello to him. All right. Thank you so much for everybody. Wait. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's been good. I've had a good time playing. I hope you guys have had a good time playing. Well, I guess watching more so. And we had a good talk. I felt like we talked about a lot of cool things. Lots of cool plans coming up in the future. And I appreciate you guys sticking through with me through it all. I will hopefully see you guys again tomorrow when we're playing Stardew. Next week we will be starting up Spider-Man Miles Morales, if all goes to plan. So we'll be starting up a new game soon, and that'll be a lot of fun, I think. Sorry that my face cam wasn't working. I'm sure you guys appreciate not having to deal with that, though. So, a little bonus point there, I guess. No face. No face, no worries. All right. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.